Welcome to Beyond the Spot. I'm Melissa Thornley, and I am so excited today to have with us Doug Stephen of Doug Stephen and Partners. Hi, Doug.
Hello.
How did you get into this biz?
I guess that my whole backstory, I grew up in California outside of San Francisco in a town called Los Gatos, and went to college in San Francisco, majored in archaeology and planned on being an archaeologist. And that, once I realized you have to be a teacher, professor, I don't want to do that. No offense at all whatsoever to teachers, but I don't want to do that. So when I was done with college, a friend of mine was going to do his master's degree at the Art Institute. And so I said, why don't I come with you to Chicago? All my favorite record labels are in Chicago, Touch and Go and Drag City and Thrill Jockey and Bloodshot. And so I moved to Chicago and was playing in bands while I was here. And it was great. But even when you're doing kind of well, you still don't make any money whatsoever. So I wanted to get a real job. And there was an opening as a research assistant at eCreative Search. It's now called Source eCreative. And so I worked there. I got a job there. And I didn't even know what a spot was. I had to ask what a spot was. And that's how I got into advertising.
I mean, you had to know everything about everybody.
It's weird. Like eCreative Search was the company that put everything online for the first time. There was another company that had been around for a long time that was the place where you went to get information about spots, and eCreative was the place that
put it online.
Yes,
yeah.
So you could just search for it and find it.
Well, it's interesting because you've been a creative resource since the second you stepped into the industry.
It feels good to help out,
Yeah.
And to be a part of it.
Well, and it's fun because, producers are swamped. They're swamped.
Yeah.
And so to be able to, off the top of your head, be able to bring out all of these creative options when you're problem solving, and it is fun to come to the rescue.
Right. If you can be someone who can solve a problem quickly, easily, without any weird, salesy, angles, you can do well.
Yeah.
And I think that that repping has changed so much. It used to be that you wouldn't see work unless a rep brought it to the office and showed it to you. Everything's online now. Everything is. Yeah. I don't have to be this delivery guy of new work.
And so how do you maintain your relationships then? How do you stay connected?
It just doesn't happen within the walls of the agency too much. And I think a lot of that has to do with the open floor plan that's common now. They don't have a private place. And if they do have a private place, it's in a freaking conference room or something sterile and weird. And so they come downstairs, and being personable is like step one. You can't be a doorknob. You can't be some boring person. You can't be unable to carry on a conversation. That's number one most important thing. It's a very social industry. I mean, how many friends have you met in this industry who have become your close friends?
We work with incredibly vital, creative people that are passionate about what they're doing, and they're passionate about ideas.
When you meet someone new, you probably have something in common. That's the thing I like. I can walk into a CCO's office who I've never met before, and I probably will find something in common because we're all artistically nerdy.
So what do you think the number one misconception, or the top 3 misconceptions are about what it is that you're doing?
I think the biggest misconception is that we are only in this for a specific reason, and that reason is to get a board out of you or something like that.
So what about that word rep? We were talking about that a little bit before.
Yeah.
What about that word?
I think that the word rep means that you are two-dimensional, you are trying to sell something, you are going to be fake. And that's a bummer. And that's what rep connotates.
What are wins? What do you consider wins?
If I meet someone who I've never met before and we hit it off, and I don't mean hit it off like we become best friends or something like that, but if we have a good conversation about whatever, that's a win to me. That's what I think matters in this business.
So what do you do to keep yourself motivated?
So what motivates me is probably what motivates you, what motivates anybody sort of creatively minded, is that paranoia of not doing something. Do you ever sit around and go I'm a loser or something or I'm this age and what am I doing with my life?
Oh yeah.
And and look at them, they're doing this, and look at them, they're doing this, and so this affects all aspects of my life, not just advertising.
Okay, I think it's come to that time where I ask the 3 questions. So the first question is, where are you from?
I've been in Chicago for 16 years now, so I guess I'm from Chicago, but I grew up in California, outside of San Francisco, a town called Los Gatos. It's Los Gatos, but if you're from there, it's Los Gatos. And but Chicago, I think within a matter of months of moving here, felt like home. So this is home.
Yay.
I live in Logan Square.
We claim you. We claim you.
It's the best city in the United States.
Okay, so where are you going?
I don't know. I like what I do. I like what I do a lot. I think it'll just evolve into whatever.
That's actually exciting. That's actually more exciting. Who wants
I
to have
think
like a
so.
predetermined something? You know?
It'd be weird if I was like, well, in 2 years I'm doing this, and then in 3 years I'm doing this, and then by that time I will be doing this. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm way too weird for that.
So what keeps you going?
The pats on the back, I love that. More so than, you know, making $8 million when someone acknowledges a job well done. I love that. So I think that what keeps me going is that, you know, when I do a good job, people acknowledge it.
Well, thank you so much for spending time
Thank you.
with us.
That was
This was so
fun.
much fun.